Hey, Brooke here. You're laying in bed, replaying a conversation that you had earlier. Not the whole thing, just that one moment. The way you said something slightly off, the pause after, the look on their face that may or may not have meant something. And now, your brain has decided that this is important. Important enough to go over again and again and again. Like if you just think about it one more time, you'll land on the right interpretation. That tendency to mentally rewind, reanalyze, and reimagine doesn't come from nowhere. It's not just random overthinking. It's your brain trying to solve something it believes is unfinished. In psychology, this pattern is often referred to as rumination, a concept studied in cognitive psychology that describes the habit of repeatedly going over the same thoughts without actually reaching a resolution. Instead of solving the problem, your brain just repeatedly circles it. What's interesting is that people who overthink aren't necessarily worse at handling situations. They're just more aware of them, more in tune. But the problem is that the brain doesn't always know which details matter and which ones don't. So it treats everything like it needs to be analyzed equally. And that's where it starts to spiral. Psychologist Susan Nolan-Hoeksema studied this pattern and found that rumination doesn't actually help you process things more effectively. It tends to actually amplify stress and anxiety. The more you think about something, the more your brain flags it as important. And the more important it feels, the harder it is to let go. So you end up in this loop where thinking feels productive, but it's not actually moving you toward any type of productivity. But a lot of the time, overthinking isn't really about the situation itself. It's about control. When something feels uncertain, your brain tries to reduce that uncertainty by analyzing it from every possible angle. If it can understand it enough, predict it enough, or prepare for every possible outcome, then maybe it can avoid making a mistake next time. It's your brain trying to keep you one step ahead, even if that means exhausting you in the process. There's also a layer of metacognition involved, which is essentially thinking about your own thinking. People who overthink are highly aware of their thoughts. They notice them, question them, and sometimes even analyze the fact that they're analyzing them. And that's how you end up in that oddly familiar loop of thinking about thinking about thinking, where it becomes less about the original situation and more about the process itself. At a certain point though, it stops becoming helpful and starts becoming just noise, because your brain doesn't always distinguish between productive thinking and repetitive thinking. Both feels like you're doing something, but only one actually gives you clarity. But the goal isn't to stop thinking deeply. That's not realistic, and that's not something that you want to lose. The goal is to distinguish the line between thinking that actually helps you and thinking that keeps you stuck. Anyway, thanks for stopping by the Brooke of Knowledge. If you liked what your weird brain just learned, hit subscribe. If not, that's okay. I'll just be here overthinking why you didn't.